For much of my life, I have not been a Christian. I wasn't brought up as a Christian. My father was Jewish. He was a secular Jew. He was a refugee from the Nazis and had come to this country. He married my mother, who was not really a churchgoer either. She was, I guess, a sort of nominal Anglican. And so I didn't have any kind of Christian upbringing in that sense. And insofar as I thought about the subject, and I did think about the subject quite a bit as a teenager, I came to the conclusion that there couldn't be a God. And I became actually quite a vociferous atheist. And I argued strongly against Christianity. And I was particularly suspicious of Christians. I'd met one or two of them in my gap year. And they had these kind of deeply suspicious smiles. So I told Nikki Lee, who I was sharing rooms with at university, I said, whatever you do, don't let them in your room. They're dangerous people. And unbeknown to me, he'd actually, and he didn't even dare tell me, he was slightly, I think, ashamed and embarrassed about the fact, he had met some Christians and he had actually started investigating Christianity for himself. And he and his then girlfriend, Scylla, now his wife, they came back one night and they told me that they had become Christians. I was just horrified. I mean, they were such lovely people. And I thought, they've joined a cult. What can I do? How can I help them? And knowing nothing about it, I thought I'll do some research. And it was 11 o'clock at night, and I thought, I'll research sort of philosophy and religion, but the only thing I could find at 11 o'clock at night was an old Bible I'd had for RE lessons at school. And so that night I started reading the New Testament. And I started reading Matthew's Gospel. I read the whole of it, and then Mark's Gospel, and then Luke's Gospel. I got about halfway through John's Gospel. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning when I fell asleep. And the following morning I carried on reading John's Gospel, Acts, and I carried on reading all that day. All the next day. I was a student. I didn't have any work to do. And when I got to the end of the New Testament, I became convinced it's true.